Music by the Cool.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Yes, That's My Kid podcast. I'm Asia, he's Anthony, and behind the scenes, we have our producer, Jacob. On this podcast, you already know the number one podcast in America.
Number one.
In the world, honestly. Like, let's not even be humble about it. We're number one in these categories that we talk about, and that is parenting, childhood development, and the nuances of raising our mixed children. Now, again, disclaimer, we're not giving you advice. If you like what you hear, you want to do it at your own risk. If something bad happens, it's not our fault. So, right? If you like what you hear on this podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share.
And even if you don't like what you hear, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Do it all regardless.
Yes.
So, Aisha, what's poppin', girl? How are you?
Exhausted.
Exhausted.
Like, mentally, physically. I've been staying up, guys. This is the same story I said last week, but it's true. I've been staying up working, but it's because like I try during the day working at home can be a little distracting because I would rather be like playing with my child and Michael, hanging out with them, seeing what they're doing. What are you guys watching? Like every time she comes upstairs, so we have a potty for Autumn, and Michael will bring her upstairs to put her on a potty. Every time she comes upstairs, she knocks on the door because she knows I'm in there. And I'm like, who's it? Right? Like, and she comes in and then she hangs out with me. And like, I'm totally distracted. I will stop what I'm doing. Just like,
Facts.
Oh, so what you guys doing down there?
Bro, it's so much more enjoyable to hang out with your family than to do work.
Right?
It's so much more enjoyable.
It is. So it's been hard. So during the day, like, even though I feel like I'm at the computer all of the time, I don't really get that much work done until after like things are quiet. Even work people, because during the day I'm getting, people are reaching out to me, like multiple people, and it disrupts my flow. So I feel like I don't really get into it until after hours, and that's why again I'm up until like 4:36 or whatever, and wondering how I'm doing it all the next day.
Yeah, I'll be like, going back to your like messing up your flow. I'll be like, so somebody sends you an email, it gets me off track of whatever I'm working on, right? Whatever I'm thinking about. So now I'm thinking about something else they're thinking about. And then when I'm done thinking about whatever they're thinking about, now I got to refocus my mind to get back to what I'm thinking about. Then I got to actually start working. You know how much time that is, like in productivity? It's like
so
like when you get ready for a break, you warm up to get ready for the break, then you go on the break.
And then you have to take a break. Yo, I have to take a break before I get back into it every single time because it's exhausting. Honestly, like I have to help you solve your problem, and then don't let it be something that I'm stuck on and I want you to do it. I still have to do it because now I need to know the answer. Now it's like, dag, I'm invested. I hate that you came to me with this right now. I hate
it. That's a fact. Yeah, that joint definitely be the worst.
Yeah,
definitely be the worst.
Yeah.
But all right. So you've been working a lot. You see a light at the end of the tunnel?
Yes, definitely this week. It should lighten up. And I think the weather, Michael just told me either is it end of this week or next week, is going to be better, like warmer consistently in Connecticut. So looking forward to our daily walks. And even though it's been busy, I like today was definitely a chill day, very enjoyable. Even yesterday, swim as always is a joy. Autumn, she's great. We're great. We be doing our thing.
That's what's up. Yeah, those daily walks are like a lifesaver. Because I remember like when I was living in Connecticut, the winter time is just crazy because if you wake up early and work, especially if you're going to work, you go to work when it's dark, you come home when it's dark and it's cold. It's just like the winter time was like just not the right zone for me. It's just depressing. Here we had it like in the 70s the past like, I don't know. For like 5 days.
Bragging.
Yeah, it was great. It's been amazing.
Bragging. First of all, guys, Anthony acts like he has been a Georgia native his entire life. Like you literally just got there.
I'm born and raised. You know what it is. Bankhead.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it's been amazing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever walked out like with shorts and a t-shirt in February. So it's been it's been amazing.
Wow.
But yeah, my week's been pretty good. I mean, busy, but nothing crazy. Pretty typical stuff, to be honest. I really don't got much to report on. Just basic, golf, gymnastics. It was my daughter's last week of golf. And Yeah, I'm trying to think if anything
You guys
else
had a
like
family
significant
game
happened.
night recently,
Oh yeah,
right? So what
yeah.
were the games you were playing? I saw Guess Who. That was one
Yeah. So
game.
guess who? And Anaya has like a fixation with like Jenga. She's
Oh,
actually
love
like
it.
pretty
Yeah.
nice at it though.
It's the tiny
She's beat me more
fingers.
times. Yeah, for sure. She's definitely beat me more times than I beat her.
Mm.
But yeah, so Jenga and really guess who. And then she's got like this big ball that we just like play around with. But we usually try to get game night once or twice a week at least. Just like so we can all participate. And then my little man is usually like just throwing stuff and making sounds. We give him a piece or whatever so he can participate. But yeah, I think that was really it, honestly. Yeah, no, nothing too much to report on.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's get into things today.
All right.
So I'm gonna preface this whole statement with I am not a news girl. I don't watch the news. I'm being fully transparent. When I hear about something, it's because of social media. And that's deliberate.
That's same here.
I like news. Talk about something being depressing, like the weather is depressing, but the news can also be depressing and traumatic. And honestly, the last time I was really into a news cycle was Trayvon Martin. And I was like really deep depression. Like it hit me so hard that since then it's like I can't really do that anymore.
Right.
So so again, when I hear about something, it's because of social media. And this morning, my husband actually sent me a clip, and then I actually saw it like on everybody else's pages after he sent it to me. But the invasion in Ukraine, Russia, as we know, invaded Ukraine, and people are trying to flee, right? And a group of those people are Black students. This is how I heard the story. I'm probably not going to be 100% on the details, but I did see some videos, and it looks like a lot of people, Black people, have been trying to cross the border as well with everyone else who wants to leave right now, and understandably, who wants to be there, with bad things happening. But it looks like they are being denied entry, I believe, into Poland simply because of, you guessed it, their race. and and now it's like anytime I hear about things like that, my number one thing used to be, I believe, it's probably almost neck and neck now. It's like I can see myself in that situation. Like I'm clearly Black, and it's like, what would I do? But now I also think about if I was in that situation with my family, if I was in that situation with Autumn, am am I recording this like people are doing? Am I just trying to get the word out there, bring awareness? Or am I just like, throwing blows? Like, I gotta get through. Like, I want to get out of here. And I mean, of course, it's probably not that simple, but I just try to put myself in that situation and understand what exactly can be done and what I would be doing.
For
Like
sure.
I try to think about exit strategies. Michael does that a lot at restaurants.
Yeah.
When we go into places to like, all right, check that. Okay, I could probably escape that way. So now I think I start to think that way as well.
Sure. No, I get that fully. That's I think that's something that comes along with being a parent. You definitely start thinking about the reality of like mortality and just like life once you become a parent, for sure. It's interesting because in with my therapist, we spoke about, because I'm like I'm a binary type person in the sense of my decisions, right? It's either or. Either I feel I'm threatened and then I react accordingly. And there's not really like a median. It's either if I feel threatened, then it's 1,000. If I feel as though if it comes to my family, then it's I just don't have any time to give any leeway to give any type of consideration. It's just in my head, it's like, all right, my family's in danger. Everybody else doesn't matter to me at all. It's just my family, my little circle, my little world. That's my world. Right. So to me, you know what I mean? So I think in a situation like that, and I'm not one to be like, oh yeah, I would da da da. Right. It's not me. But I think that I would certainly, and solely based on how other situations have been, I would be on 1,000. And what that means and what that looks like, I'm not sure, but it would have to be, if there's a way to make it happen, through any means, whatever they are, it's gonna happen. And if there's The only thing that's going to not let it happen is if I'm physically incapable of not making it happen.
Exactly.
I'm not making it happen. So I'm trying to say this without what's the word? What's the word? Sounding like crazy or nothing, but that's what it would be. It's like is all or nothing, you know?
I hear that. Even just to bring it to something very simplistic, not, you know, as traumatic of experience that I believe many people may be going through right now over there. But I'm the same way when it comes to my family or even my friends. Like, it's crazy how much you can stick up for other people and maybe not so much yourself. Like, I might be a little cool sometimes when things happen to me, and I assess it after the fact. Like, I can't believe that just happened. Like, I was cool, but like, you really tried me. But I start to like, I go through a pattern. Like, I start off cool, then I get angry, and it's like, oh, on fire. But when it comes to my family, off rip. What do you want? So, last summer, Michael, Autumn, and I went to the beach, and we just kind of started setting up on the beach that we were at, and there was this family in front of us. They weren't paying attention to their kid. The kid was throwing bread at like the seagulls and stuff, the birds just flying around. So now all the birds, of course, are coming to get some food. And they were almost attacking the kid, like trying to get the candy and stuff that the kid was like. The kid had, I think, gummies and bread, a whole bunch of stuff. So now they're just like flocking. The parents are in front of the kid, like, oh, talking, throwing their hands. They see the birds, but not really paying attention.
Yeah.
And so Michael wanted to help, and he started picking up rocks and throwing it, right, just to try to get the birds away from the kid. And the lady turned around and was like, she got up and she's like, listen, if you're going to be, I said, you listen.
Oh, snap.
She was like, listen, if you're going to be throwing rocks or no, she said, if you're going to be feeding the birds, then you guys need to go somewhere else. I said, nobody's feeding the birds. That's your kid
snap.
that you're not even paying attention to. Who are you talking to?
Yeah,
then she was like, oh, right. Then she was like, oh, and never apologized though.
Yeah.
But I was like hot. I was like ready, like say something else. Something else with Autumn in my arms. You think you think we want the birds over here? Like, look how small she is.
Yeah.
And and so she, like from then on, she would like smile and then she was like, "Oh, your baby's cute." Nah, fuck out of here. Like, no, I don't want to hear it. And then when they were leaving, she was like, "Oh, have a great day." I think Michael said, "Oh yeah, you too." And I was just looking like, "What do you want?" You know, would have been easier. First of all, not having the audacity. Second of all, apologizing because you were wrong as hell.
Facts. Nah.
Yeah, people be, I don't know. But yeah,
I feel you. That's the exact response that I'm saying. Like literally just says I completely understand that and agree with that response. I was justified 100%. I think that since becoming a parent, I don't want to say I became like less helpful, but it's a straight up like easy prioritization for me in my head in terms of what I'm willing to do. Whether it's sticking up for a friend, whether it's anything like that, whether it's even helping somebody in certain situations, because I assess it like, all right, so if this escalates, I may lose my freedom, and I'm not going to be there for my daughter, I'm not going to be for my wife, or if I help out this situation, and then it could be randomly seeing something, and I take it as whatever, and I'm trying to help somebody out, which I'm not going to do ever. But if I were to, it could be like, all right, then this person may mistake me for someone else, and then now I'm the accuser. You know what I mean? I'm the one being accused of something. So I just that's kind of like the lens that I look at it through. Like what the level of severity or whatever you want to call it that could potentially impact my family. So it could be whether losing freedom, getting arrested or something, or getting hurt or hurting somebody, then I lose my freedom. So it's like I just veer away from like all of it, and I just keep, for sure, and I just try to keep any type of altercation or anything solely reserved to anything that comes over my family. That's like the what you call it, like the emergency firebox where you break the glass. That's the only time like any type of altercation or emotion or anything like that will arise.
Yeah, I feel that.
So going back to that, that's a terrible situation. So prayers up for everybody over there.
Absolutely, everyone involved. I actually reached out to someone. I don't know many Ukrainians, but I work with someone who I know. She's from there, has family there, and I reached out to her just to, I don't know, wish well on her family. So I think it's terrible for people. Like it's I don't like war. I
Yeah,
think
for
it's
sure.
pretty pointless, but I don't know. Neither
Yeah.
here or there. I just don't like people dying.
Hmm.
It seems like it's avoidable. So,
Right. Not for you.
all right. So yes, we want to have a conversation about what we are currently doing to have fun with our kids and what we hope that they will be involved in as they get older, what extracurricular activities that we would like them to be involved in. So with that said, Anthony, what do you guys do in your household to have fun to make sure that everyone's involved? I know you mentioned game night
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
So we do a game night usually. Like I said, try to get it like 2 times a week, and that's like a strictly playing game night. Throughout the
Mhm.
week, we play. I just hooked up my PlayStation after it was like in our storage unit for like 6 months, but I just hooked that up, so my daughter's been loving that. And then I play with her like every night, whether we're playing catch or something, or doing handstands or something silly like that.
Mhm.
But but I'd say specifically, how I approach this question is what we're doing currently, like you said, what I would like her and my son to get involved in later on,
Mhm.
as they get older, and kind of like why. So what we're doing currently are all those things I mentioned, but what I do with just like on a one-on-one basis, I like to do my daughter's hair a lot, and that's
Yeah.
just because it's kind of like for me, like something I selfishly take because it's kind of a time where I get to be a little like creative. Um, I have a very
Although,
like Weber.
have you been feeling creative lately?
Not really, because I haven't had
Exactly, because
time.
those hairstyles been basic.
Yo, don't start, man. Don't start. Give me some creative time,
Okay.
and I'll get to do
All
it.
right. No, I feel that.
but but yeah, no. Since having Aiden, I really don't have that much time. But yeah, that was kind of like my time to like be creative, and I like to like focus on things when I'm doing it.
Mhm.
So that was kind of like selfishly, that was like something I just like to do. And she grew up with me doing it. And then that's just kind of our bonding time, something that I want her to have as a memory, like just growing up and thinking about when she gets older.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one thing we do. And then we just play a lot. We play a lot. We play tag, hide and
Mm.
seek a lot. Play a lot
Wait,
of hide and
where
seek
where are you hiding?
everywhere.
In
Everywhere.
the closet? Like, what spaces do you fit
In the closet,
in?
turn the lights off in the bathroom, jump on the counter, in the tub, everywhere.
Do you scare her when you jump out?
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Does she
sure.
get scared?
Yeah, it's a must. Yep,
Oh.
yep. Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. She gets scared. But yeah, so we do her hair a lot, and we play hide and seek. What else do we do? And then I wouldn't say it's fun, but I have her read a lot. I have her write a lot. When I went to Connecticut, she was like, because I had to go get my cat a couple weeks ago, and she was like missing me because she wanted somebody to play with.
Mhm.
Because my wife and I, we interact with her differently.
Yeah.
So I do like the running around and all this stuff and picking her up and throwing her around. And she wants somebody to play with. And then she was like, I miss daddy. He has fun, da da da. And then my wife was like, so you
Damn.
miss your father, huh? She was like, I haven't had you read all weekend. I haven't had you
Right.
write. I haven't had you do any math. And then she got like perked up. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh,
It's all
yeah.
good, right?
Oh,
And then with
man,
my
that's funny.
son, he's only 10 months, so or going on 11 months. So I just do baby stuff with him, throw him around and play
Mhm.
peekaboo with him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. What about you?
That's interesting. Autumn never really did peekaboo. She caught on late. We just never did it that often with her.
Yeah.
But right now, Autumn loves going outside. Anytime we put on socks on her feet, she thinks it's go time. She's like, "Bye," to, like,
Yeah.
the other parent, "Bye." It's like, "Okay, first of all, I'm coming with you, girl, relax."
Mhm.
Second of all, like, you can't even go that far. She'll walk to a certain point and it's like, just plops down on the ground, like, "That's it, like, I worked out for the day."
Yeah, yeah.
But she definitely enjoys it. She doesn't care to come back in, so, like I said, we're looking forward to, the warm weather so we could take more walks. But also she loves music. I mean, I love music too, so we dance. Right now, we do this thing. They were watching, actually, they were watching Happy Feet last night.
Mhm.
Y
That's a
you
dope
know how
movie.
I don't think I've ever seen them, but I was like, "Oh, penguins." So I just started going, happy feet." And she started like waddling like a penguin. So and I was doing it with her and we're doing the circles. And anytime I stopped, she would like fall out. She's dramatic. She would fall out. And
That's
then
funny.
I would start again. And then she's like, "Okay, happy feet, happy feet." And I'm like, you are too much.
Right.
But we do things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, I guess, encourage her using her imagination.
Mhm.
Earlier, she likes to take the pots from the cabinets
Yeah.
and she'll take the spoon. So I'm like, "Oh, what are you making?" Just trying to narrate more to hopefully
Mm.
introduce more words to
Oh, yeah,
her,
for
to
sure.
have her start speaking. We have these flashcards. I don't think she thinks the flashcards are fun right now. She's
Yeah.
like, nice picture. Let me see." Like, just wants to grab it and rip it up.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make sure, same as you, make sure she's having fun, but also learning at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I think that's dope.
yeah.
I think that's super important too because this year it became like really big and heavy and like not just reading but like understanding full context and
Mhm.
then writing in detail, like explaining things a lot more. So when you mentioned about like her playing with the pots and like what are you making, da da da,
Mhm.
I think that's like going to be super helpful in the future because it's going to be a lot more detail when she tells a story or writes a story. It's not going to be like, yeah, I made some soup. Period.
Yeah.
What does
I
soup
know.
taste like? Tastes like hot stuff.
Hot
Period.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
I think that'll be super helpful.
Yeah. I literally just I ran Rambo with her
Yeah.
just to make sure I'm just like words,
Mm.
just hear it and
Or
become
to
familiar
hopefully
with things and
introduce more
hopefully she'll
words to
pick it
her,
up.
to have
Yeah.
her start speaking. We have
So
these
I'm
flashcards.
gonna
I
butcher a
don't think she
study,
thinks
right?
the
I'm
flashcards
gonna
are fun
say
right
some
now.
stats
She's
that
like,
probably aren't accurate, but I'm
nice
just gonna
picture.
say
What
Let
are
me
you
them.
gonna
like
say
just wants to
stats?
grab it and rip it
Just
up.
give
I'm
the
gonna give
I'm sure
generalizations.
trying to
okay.
I'm
make sure,
gonna give the
same
yeah,
as
I'll give
you, make
the
sure she's
context
having
of it.
fun, but
Okay,
Basically,
yeah.
they were saying that a family who comes from who has one person who's college educated, even if
Mhm.
they didn't graduate, but just college educated, has like the child by the age of like 7 has 4 times the amount of vocabulary
Mhm.
as another 7-year-old, which is pretty
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah,
I read
just
that. I read something similar and
yeah,
about, again, here I go butchering things, but I believe that
that's all right.
you I know that's
That's
right.
what we
I
do. We
said
just make
we're
shit up
making
here.
shit up, right? No, but
We gave no reference. Didn't say who said it.
not.
A study.
A study said, I Googled it.
Facts. I wrote it myself.
Might as well put the PhD behind my name.
Facts.
But it basically said the first 3 years are huge development years for children, and
Yeah.
that
Mm.
for parents who try to say, I believe, 3,000 words a day to their kids, the more advanced they become,
Mm.
compared to their peers.
Yeah.
So that's why another reason why, like from like the day she was born, I would just try to talk and narrate and have
Yeah.
Michael do the same. And even my mom watches this. My mom watches this and she was like, yeah, I like some things you said, but some things you don't. But anyway, mom, so when she comes over, she likes to throw on like a Love and Hip Hop or something, or
Yeah.
anything, like anything new that's out because she doesn't have HBO or whatever we
Yeah.
do. She's like, okay, all right, what's on now? What can I watch? What's on Hulu? What's on Netflix? And that's good, but I'm like, Mom, you have to interact with her. You have to talk to her. You have to play with her.
Yeah.
And then you can watch your shows, but you have to talk to her. So
Yeah.
anyone who comes around her, we try to get them to do the same thing. Like
Yeah.
introduce a new player and
That's cool.
do more
Yeah.
stuff.
That's so super attentive. That's cool. And I
Yeah.
think smart too. I
Yeah.
never like thought about it like that, but that is like that's really cool.
Yeah.
So a couple things that Anaya does that I don't really partake in, I'll say. She takes golf lessons and she takes gymnastics.
Mm-hmm.
So I obviously don't take gymnastics with her or golf lessons with her, but she does do that. And I do try to like help her learn her flips and stuff like that. I tell you
Yeah.
what though, I used to be nice at flips when I was a kid. I never took gymnastics. I
Yeah.
never took gymnastics. Boy, I tried to do a flip maybe a couple months ago.
Oh
I
my
don't feel the same at all.
gosh.
I mean, I got it done barely without breaking something.
Ooh,
I was like, I'm all set with this. It's crazy
don't
how
try
your
that
body
again.
changes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Speaking of that though, so gymnastics you said and golf. Are there any other sports that you would want your children to get into that typically don't have a lot of Black people in it? Like, any other race could probably be dominant in a sport and probably because of, funding. But is there any other sport that you're interested in putting your children in? And if so, why?
Oh yeah, definitely. So golf is one that I definitely so my daughter did 24 weeks of golf. She did 12 weeks when we moved down here to Georgia. And then she did the next 12 weeks after that because they come in a 12 weeks program. So she did the first 12 weeks, second 12 weeks. So she literally just had her last class yesterday. And she's gotten a lot better, better than me at this point, which is dope.
Wait, are you good?
Huh?
Are you good?
No.
Oh,
I'm not. But
you do it to talk to the CEOs and stuff.
I mean, you know what? That's the problem. So that's the reason why I got her into playing golf, because for like a large portion of my career, they were like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let's go play golf, whatever. Basically up until the pandemic, pandemic started, like, hey, you want to come hit some golf, whatever. I'm like, not really. I'm like, y'all want to play ball?
But that's where you guys are right. You're right.
Y'all trying to catch this? Or I was like, I'll come drink with you, I guess. But I mean, I'm not an avid golfer. But I was hitting the like golf range just so I could get like some type of swing, but it wasn't the same thing. So I wanted my daughter to be like adept in it, because and it's a sport you could play until you're old too, right?
Right.
So I just wanted her to be good in that. I wanted her to take gymnastics because I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to take gymnastics. You said you love gymnastics. I remember you mentioned you took it.
Yeah.
I wanted to take it when I was a kid because I just like flips. I like the Power Rangers when I was a kid, and they do all these flips and stuff. But I never took gymnastics, so I got her gymnastics and golf. I want her to do fencing. I basically just want her to do all the sports that aren't free.
Yes.
Basketball, that's what I grew up on. Basketball, football, because it was free. You get a ball, you go to a court, you don't got to pay a fee, you don't got to pay a membership, you don't got to pay nothing. You want to play football, you could go get some friends, go outside, play football. You want to play baseball, you know what I'm saying? All those are like the free sports. So I want her to try all the things that aren't necessarily free that I didn't have access to growing up, because I think two things. I think she can be very good at it, but also those sports, because there's not a big Hispanic or Black prominence in it, I'd say, in terms of like the amount of players or people that participate in it.
Right.
I feel like that could be beneficial in terms of her just getting some recognition. Both my kids getting some recognition, either scholarships or whatever they may be. So those are kind of like the main reasons. And my son, I want to get him into like wrestling, because I told you he got a crazy build. He got such a fire build.
Yeah.
So
is there money in wrestling? Well, I guess like WWE for like the elite world of wrestling, there's money in it. And then I just thought about WWE, so perhaps.
So I don't know about like professionally. I'm just talking like high school wise. So
okay.
But believe it or not, though, my god nephew, Kylon, shout out to Kylon. He's he does like amateur wrestling.
Okay.
I guess that's what's called. It's like amateur wrestling, but he's nice at it. He's like legitimately like an up and comer. I could see him like on WWE in like the next, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years or something like that. But but I was thinking more so like high school collegiate wrestling for my son. What about you?
So I think one thing you said is that you have wished you'd done something or things that Anaya can get into, and I automatically thought, so I did take gymnastics and I loved it. And I was pretty good, like at a young age. My mom would tell you that I started doing split tattoo. I mean, she's probably right. I am flexible. I've been pretty flexible my entire life. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, right now, it'd take a little bit, but I can still do my splits on both sides. I can do it.
Dang.
But I like gymnastics. When we moved to North Carolina, my dad and my stepmother gave us an option of choosing what we wanted to do next. That's for our extracurricular. And they said, I could stick with gymnastics or maybe do cheerleading. And I knew this boy who lived close to us, he was a football player, so I chose cheerleading. And I should have stuck with gymnastics, because since then I didn't go back and I missed it a lot. But also another thing, as I grew older, I never cared about sports because I was into dance and I would dance at schools. I tried basketball, I think in 6th grade, like intramurals. I was nice with like shooting it, but I could never dribble. We lost our intramurals and I cried so hard. It was so bad. Like I boo-hooed back to the classroom and it's like, it's not that deep. But anyway, I wish that I was actually into sports now because I actually have a naturally athletic build,
Mhm.
and when I started dating Michael, him and his family, they've always played tennis. They used to also teach tennis at some point. So he was teaching me, and my forehand was kinda nice. Like, if I was doing this, even if I picked it up in high school, I really think I would have been lethal. I would have
Yeah,
been out
yeah.
here making some money. Now I'm in
I
my
believe it,
basement
yo.
recording a podcast.
At 11 o'clock on a
Right,
Sunday night.
right. I could have been a millionaire by now.
Facts. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you
Yes.
with that sentiment though, because I literally be thinking the same thing. It's like, um, so I didn't start like getting into. I did everything as a kid, right? But it
Mhm.
was it was without coaching. It was like not organized stuff.
Right.
Like I did everything not organized. I would go outside and do it. But I truly do feel, especially like when so I did like CrossFit when I got older. We'll say like early 20s, and I was
Mhm.
actually like really good at it. And I was like, dude, like, and I got in like really really good shape, and I was just getting good at the like skilled what do they call it? Whatever, like the skilled exercises, right?
Okay.
Um, so I was like, dang, like this is me like young 20s, like dang, if I had like a coach or something
Yeah.
or some
Wait,
type
would
of
you do that
guidance.
that kipping stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Alright. I
Yeah.
know some CrossFit things.
I know. Yeah, Mike did it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I was thinking too, like at that time, like, dang man, if I had like some coaching earlier in life, like I would have been
You
nice
would
at
have been,
something.
yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I think physically, I have a ceiling. I'm only 6 foot, 185 pounds, so I have a ceiling. I'm not gonna be 6'8", 240 or nothing.
Okay.
But I think genetically, I think I'm pretty good. And my kids, I want them to fulfill the potential that they
Yeah.
can. But with that, not just athletics. I want my daughter to get into piano.
Like,
Um,
oh, I took piano lessons. My dad
oh,
my
okay,
dad my dad was really into, like, us excelling, and
yeah,
I was actually good even in my church, the lady, she learned how to play by, I think they say by ear, that's the term that they use. She was never
wow,
actually taught, and so
that's
I used to,
crazy.
kinda talk to her a lot, and they were like, "My fingers are long." They thought it would be good, and I was getting it. I was really, really decent at it, and my father was adamant about me practicing.
Hmm.
The issue was my sister at the time was doing drum lessons, but the issue with that is that I would practice, right? But we had our keyboard at the window, and while I was practicing, I would see people playing outside, including my sister. So then I wanted to be outside instead of
Yeah,
practicing, and now I wish I just stuck with it. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
gosh, man.
It's like you learn these lessons like when you get older, and you're like, all
Yeah,
right,
it's like,
I gotta make sure
man.
my kids like don't go down the same path, not in a negative
Yeah.
way, but
But
just kind of stay focused towards
yeah,
something.
try to see a
Yeah,
bigger picture. I mean, with
yeah.
that, so I do also want to get Autumn into some sports, like same as you. Um, Sports that, she'll have access to that I may not have had, again, because of money, but also because of, like, it takes money to make money, right? These
Mm,
sports cost a lot because if you do make it to some elite level or even collegiate or high school, like, you're offered and afforded a lot of opportunities. Like, you'll
yeah,
get these amazing scholarships, as you mentioned, and I mean, if you make it to the pros, even as a tennis player, if you make it to certain rounds, you are making money. That sport takes money, but you make money. Like, just listen to how much money they actually make
yeah,
in these sports. It's
yeah.
crazy. But I mean, I was even thinking about, I don't know. Michael watches a whole bunch of sports, and he likes Lewis Hamilton, which is
Okay.
he's a Formula One driver.
Wow.
Um, I think he's like the only black one right now,
Yeah.
killing records. And I'm like,
Hmm.
would I want that to be my child? And probably,
Yeah.
yeah, I want my child up there making money. But if they're not
Right.
into sports, same as you, I just want them to excel at
Yeah.
whatever it is. If it's academic, if
Yeah.
it's in an athletic sense, if it's an artistic sense, I just want them to be able to use that, whatever their talent is, and leave wherever I am. And not saying like I want you to be away from me, but I want you to see the world. I
Hmm.
want you to experience things, experience cultures, experience people, different foods. I want my children to know that there is life outside of this little bubble that we seem to
Sure.
be in that seems to just be make up everything in our lives. It just seems that nothing really goes on outside of what we know. But
Sure. Oh, definitely.
there's so much going on out there, and I
For
want
sure.
my children to be able to afford that
Yeah.
lifestyle.
No, I agree with you 100%. So kind of in line, adjacent to this, not so it's in line because it was like I always with my kids, with our kids, I think you obviously you as well. You think about what cool things you're gonna have them do and stuff, right?
Mhm.
But then the tough part is you can't force them to do anything. They got to
That's
actually
true.
want to do it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my one of the things because when I was like a little younger, she not that she didn't have interests, but she would. I guess for lack of a better word, she just seemed like she wouldn't have as much interest as I would like her because we did like
Mm.
ballet as well. We did a few different things, and she seemed at times not to have as much interest as I would have liked for her to have.
Right.
But what I'll say is that she would get when she was young too, like 2, 3 years old. She used to get so upset when she couldn't do something. Like I
Mm.
remember we went to a birthday party, and I'm not the type to like, okay, baby, I'll help you.
Mm.
Because I just feel like it builds more character if you let them kind of struggle a bit. So we were at a birthday party when she was like 3, and she was trying to get on this bouncy house thing, and she was so upset. And for a good hour, she was trying to get on it, and then she finally got on it. She was going to give up a number of times, but then she finally got on it. So then at that point, I was like, all right, how can I like guide this to be like appropriate and just be competitive?
Mhm.
And as she's 6 now, and I'm seeing that it's really starting to turn into that. Like she was
Mm.
trying to practice like a certain flip for a long ass time the other day, and I was like, "All right, babe, that's enough." And she was like, "No, I gotta keep going until I get it." And even at like the park, just like they have a lot of different things that are kind of like monkey bars. A lot
Yeah.
of them spin and rotate and all these things. And she ended up doing it till she got callus on her hands.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, I mean, I like the intensity and I like the competitiveness of it, but I'm liking how I'm starting to see that kind of like be directed how I want it to.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah,
And that she's taking an interest in things. She's finding what she actually likes, and
hmm
I think that's important as you stated. So
yeah. Like what you said before in terms of giving your kids an opportunity to do different things. That's what you really want to do. You want to give them an opportunity to see as many things and not limit their scope of
mhm.
what they can do. Because there may be so many different things that they're actually good at that
Right.
we're not even aware of right now, right?
Right.
Like just a bunch of things that our scope has it was limited, and
Exactly. And
you
we
know what
only
I mean,
know so much. And it's like, okay, I'll follow this path because proximity, right? We know
right?
that there's success in this way because we've seen it with our own eyes with people who look like us. And it's like, nah, there's more out there.
For sure.
Baby bird. Fly, baby bird.
Yeah, no, they like over here too. Like they got around the corner from where I live. They got like sewing lessons. Like they got like
Mm,
everything. Like they got my niece took sewing classes. She's taking fencing right now. Um,
nice.
I want to take sewing classes. I want Anaya to get into fencing. It's just like so many different things that you just wouldn't think of. That's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love today's topic. It brings me joy to say the things that I look forward to. And I say that in particular because one time Michael, I don't know who told him, but we were saying, "Oh, I can't wait for it," right? Anything with Autumn, I can't wait until she speaks. But instead, we should reframe it into, "I look forward to the time,
Mm,
she can do this. Or I look forward to this moment because we still want to appreciate what's happening now and
for
not
sure.
dismiss it. It's going to go, it's fleeting, and you might forget about it. So kind of enjoy the present moments, but there are moments that I am looking forward to. So as we stated, like all this just expanding their world and their minds, and enjoying life. It
Yeah.
brings me joy to talk about these things. So definitely like today's topic.
I like today's topic too. Um, I I agree with everything you said. For sure.
Okay.
So my
Yes.
segment now.
Yeah.
Dad jokes.
Mhm.
Can I do a dad joke?
Yeah, we're all waiting.
All right, let's get into dad jokes. Okay. What do you call somebody with no body and no nose?
Nobody knows.
Man, shut up.
That was so easy.
That was corny. I wouldn't have
No,
got that.
it was corny.
That was whack.
It was
you're
so
corny for getting
no.
it. You just ruined my shit.
It was so corny. It was so apparent and clear. You literally said it. You said it.
I wouldn't have got it.
You thought that was hilarious?
I thought it was great.
Boy.
It's a dad joke. Well, Asia ruined dad jokes for you guys today. And that was it.
You chose a bad one.
That was a great one.
I mean, you typically choose bad ones, but you chose a bad one.
That's the top 145 dad jokes.
Now stop. It wasn't even clever.
It is in a list of 145 dad jokes. I'm not going to say it's the top, but it's in a list of them.
Nobody knows you literally said the joke within the joke. It was so obvious.
I wouldn't have got it.
Okay.
I feel like you studied up on it or something.
No, come on now. First of all, the joke that you said, I don't know, one of the jokes you mentioned, dang, was it somebody running or something?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I forget, but Michael, after he watched the episode, he was like, how you didn't know that one? Because he loves dad jokes. He was like, how do you know that? I'm like, I don't know.
So you got Michael quizzing you. That's what it is.
He's not quizzing me.
He is quizzing you.
Listen, I react the same way when he says these things. And honestly, he says, Autumn, I look forward to when you order because you're going to find this funny. I need somebody to laugh.
And I'd be cracking up.
Like, okay.
Well, that's that.
That was something. I don't know if it was a joke, but it was something.
It was a great joke.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you as always for listening. I hope you come back and tell more people to come back. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And honestly, like, really, really comment. Really, really comment. We want to know your thoughts. We want to know your feedback. If you like something that we're doing in particular, share with us. If you don't like something, share with us. If you love the topic, let us know and turn on your notifications.
Facts. All that. Like, comment, share, turn on notifications.
Subscribe.
If there's something you don't like, let us know about it.
We'll take it into consideration.
Exactly.
We'll probably still do it. No. We'll take it into consideration.
Facts.
Right.
All right, everybody. This is Yes, That's My Kid podcast. Peace.
Yes.